Gentlemen, my dear Mavi community, welcome on today's call. My name is Domen Vidergar. I'm the VP of Sales, and today's topic is, of course, our third partner that came inside of our ecosystem, the project name, the FlipMe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, we announced the App Store, and the first thousands of downloads already came by. Now, in a few next days, also the App Store appear, and once again, also the Android users start to download the application. Now, in the past days, I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of messages. What is next for the FlipMe? What are the next milestones? When we can start to expect, if I'm the payment hub holder and if I'm the big whale package holder, the next payout? What is the vision? What is the roadmap? But even more important, where the project is going with the FlipMe, and even more important, what is the next for year and the vision?
Les prochaines 4 années et la vision aussi.
Now, Mr. Pierre,
sur le futur.
my dear translator, please mute yourself. Just one moment. Now, sometimes we have some technical bugs, Mr. Pierre. I think now everything is fine, ladies and gentlemen. We can continue the call. And as I said before, a lot of questions came inside of my mailbox. Even more important is that once a month or once every 2 months, we have the opportunity to speak with the gentleman who is in charge for the entire FlipMe development, integrations, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, the big news and, of course, the exciting news on today's call, we will share with Mr. Matjaž, the gentleman who impossible made it possible. That's why I invite him on today's call. My dear Matjaž, our dear FlipMe team, welcome on today's call. And please tell me, where is Mr. Matjaž and how is the FlipMe team? Matjaž, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here, actually. So thank you for inviting me. As you hear, I got a little bit of a cold, so I hope I will be understandable.
Matjaž, we can hear you loud and clear. Even more important, our community hears you loud and clear. First of all, Matjaž, even if there are sometimes challenges with the help, let's jump straight into the questions. Our community wants to know what has happened in the last 4 weeks, what FlipMe has managed to achieve.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of an update. So basically, when you said Android is slowly starting, it actually exceeded Apple downloads. So now we have approximately 70% of Android downloads and 30% of Apple downloads. So actually, the Android community is winning at this case, if I call it like that. But yes, of course, the last 3-4 weeks were very interesting. I will say, from my point of view, finally we have with the overcoming of the hurdles that we had with App Store and with all of this regulative and stuff, the life became a little bit more normal, let's say, or it became a little bit more where we are able to see where we are today and where we will be tomorrow. So basically, what we have managed to do is we added, as you saw, on-ramp. So Alchemy is on board. This is the first partner to actually add or better top up crypto with credit cards and debit cards and so on and so on. This is, of course, one of the big providers. So here we see that they have a lot of solutions. And with this, I think it increases the functionality of the application. And of course, in the future, we will let's say extend or even let's say more integrate this solution especially with for example Mavi partner in sense of enabling the payments directly from the credit card or debit card or any kind of on-ramp payment toward actually payment of the packages, payment of any order and stuff like that. So this is one thing. We are integrating the first off-ramp solutions. So this means that you are able to withdraw, or better, to exchange your crypto for euros or for let's say fiat currency, and then send this fiat currency to your normal bank account or your normal IBAN, and so on and so on. The first provider for this is a European provider. So basically, this is limited to European users. Users with European with residence in European Union country, and of course. This is you have to consider that this is always just the first partner with which we have to go through the protocol, see what kind of problems there are, and what kind of actually interface they require. So this was let's say for the let's say last 4 weeks. And there is one more thing. Of course, the next or better the second provider for the cards is coming. I expect that this will be launched within the next few days, so that you will be able to choose provider A or provider B. And again, this is basically just a proof of concept, if I call it like that. I don't want to expand too much, but this is a proof of concept that our application is unique in this sense that we can host more providers with more solutions and with more let's say solutions which are where one solution is limited to a certain group or to a certain geographical location, and the other one to another one. So basically, the user can choose from a palette of solutions. This is in short, let's say, for the last 3-4 weeks.
Matthias, everything started with Arc Finance. The second one was Alchemy Pay. Can we announce the third integration? You just mentioned it. In a matter of days, the second provider, in order to offer 2 solutions inside of the FlipMe application. Yes. And can we announce it?
Basically, the second provider is Bluebank. This is one of the major providers in sense of let's say debit and credit cards. They are, I think, in between 200. So in the top 200 providers in Visa ecosystem, and I think they will be able to host a lot of our users and give them a really good service. One more thing, maybe. I don't know if how many people have been testing the card internationally, and this is what I consider a very big success. We have been testing the Arc Finance, for example, and it's apart from some let's say ATM withdrawals and some risky merchants and so on and so on. So for all conventional uses, we have not had any problems so far. So I have to knock on wood. These are the products that we want to have, and these are the solutions that we want to have. So I consider this a good success on our side.
So the second provider, once again, I'm already getting the messages. What is the name of the second provider? What is the second provider name? It's
Bluebank.
Bluebank. Okay. Yes. First of all, when we are speaking about the Bluebank, let's now speak for the next 4 weeks. Okay. What else, based on the technical roadmap, based on the plans that you are having it with the team, what else, let's say it's coming, we are now at the beginning of May, let's say in the next 30 days at the beginning of June. How extended is going to be the FlipMe application?
So basically, we are always working on 2 things. So one thing is the expansion of functionalities. This is one thing where we have, new partners and so on and so on. The other thing is the improvement of the user interface, because now with, let's say, a few thousand users, we are able to identify where we as developers or the designers of the application didn't do a top job, if I call it like that. So where we see, people are, let's say, have a problem here, don't see this, don't see that, or is not so intuitive as we anticipated. And of course, in front of us is, I think for our community, this is one of the big things. There is the let's say implementation of the cards which are from I would say, were purchased on the back office, and basically fulfill the promise that we did before, and deliver the cards to the users and enable them to use the cards as we promised. So the cards which will have, as all of you know already, which have some special properties in sense of returns and stuff like that, and of course all of this is slowly starting to fuel, let's say, the whole machine and the whole the whole rotation, where we see there is more interaction with this, or there is more need for this, or there is also one maybe small part which seems like a small part but a crucial part which we need to integrate, and so on and so on. So this is so the goal, let's say, for the next 4 weeks, if I call it like that, is to implement everything, implement the things that we I would say promised on the to Mavi community. Number one, so to get that actually on board, to integrate more partners, so to actually expand the functionalities in sense of multiple solutions for certain requirement or certain functionality, and to actually make this view of the application as smooth as possible. For example, I don't know if you noticed, now every new wallet that is being downloaded is pre-funded with ULX. So basically, if you use Ultron network, you don't have a problem with gas. You don't have a problem with I don't know, some transfers of USDT and stuff like that. So these are the small things which we are able to integrate, let's say, on a weekly basis, or let's say on a certain timeline basis, which should make the transition, or make the entrance to the blockchain, to the let's say, this part of finance easier, also for the people who are not so tech savvy, who are the first time interacting with blockchain and let's say, this part of technology.
Matthias, once again, so in the next 4 weeks, we are definitely getting 2 or 3 providers integrated inside of the FlipMe application. And can we assure to our Mavi community that at the beginning of June, everyone who purchased the card inside of the Mavi back office will have an option to redeem it, actually start to, they will have an option to activate it, and from that moment on, start using it.
Exactly, yes. This is a good summary. So basically, within the next, let's say, 4 weeks, that's until the end of the month, all of this should be integrated, and all of this should be available to the users, so that they can redeem, that they can top up, they can start working with it, they can withdraw the funds from the back office, or whichever situation, and actually use their funds for purchases and for services and stuff like that.
Matthias, during your presentation, you mentioned one time Mavi and the back office. Can we give to our Mavi community, let's say, I would not say cherry on top, but way more easier solution in order to withdraw their commission? Can we expand this, I can say, a little bit more?
Exactly. This is so as you know, we are always creating an MVP, if I call it like that, or let's say a protocol with which we can integrate into certain structure. So with this in mind, of course, since our community, Mavi community, is our primary community, if I call it like that, we are working on integrating FlipMe application with back office to actually create, I call it, one-click withdrawal. So basically, currently we have a problem with, not a problem, but let's say it's a challenge with the security, where of course everybody needs to do the email code and the two-factor code and so on and so on. So as you know, that blockchain resolves all of these issues. So once you have paired, so this is the work that we are working on, the project that we are working on is that once you will pair your FlipMe application, your FlipMe wallet with back office, that means that your withdrawal will be basically with one click. So you will do the click on withdraw, you will sign or let's say approve the transaction on the wallet, and from there on, thing is complete. And of course, this has two things. So one thing is to make the users easier to use Mavi back office in this case, and of course, on the same time, it creates interaction on the FlipMe wallets. So our intention, so that we understand that this is but this is not. It's a big step actually. This is a step with which we actually expand the integration or the possibility of the integration of FlipMe wallet or Mavi back office with each other, and create a protocol, let's call it like that, a protocol with which such a communication can actually run through, and is an easy, easy achievable or easy learnable for the user, but for the user I mean a user who is not a developer or a programmer or let's say tech savvy. So your normal I call it grandma solution.
Matthias, the most common question that I will definitely get straight after this call: when this one-click solution is gonna be for all Mavi members. Once again, we are having a big community. We are counting it in hundreds of thousands. We have, of course, tens of thousands of active leaders. Some of them, they are focused on one of the partners that is called the Revolution. The second one, they are focusing on Ultron Foundation. So when this button, one-click solution, will appear in Mavi Global Back Office?
So I will call it like this. There are two plans. One plan is optimistic, or let's say theoretically realistic, and one is where you anticipate all the problems and so on and so on. Of course, you always push me for the optimistic plan, because then it sounds better and so on. But unfortunately, we all have to work with the realistic one. So let's put it like this: my plan, or our plan, is that by the end of the month we have also this integrated. Now, this involves a lot of security questions. This involves a lot of testing. This involves a lot of, let's say, missing link situations where we don't want to push forward a solution which would not be, I would say, 99.99% bulletproof. So that's why I'm saying, optimistically, we are there at the end of the month. Realistically, there may be some hurdles where we have to extend for a week or two, but should not be more.
First of all, Matthias, if we wrap up the entire call, because every book has got introduction, then has got the juicy part, and then in the end, it's something that is called conclusion. So let's assume like this. First of all, Mavi community, all the users, everyone who participated in the pre-sale of the FlipMe, of an amazing startup that was startup at the beginning. Now it's not yet a global player, but it's already positioned on the map, and it has got all the potential to become one of the players, the big guys, in order to offer something so unique, because this is uniqueness, let's be honest. And
yes.
Once again, no one has done anything quite like this before. By
exactly.
the end of this month, different kind of providers, such as Alchemy, that is already in, Arc Finance, then we are having Bitcoin Black, and so on, are going to be integrated by the end of the month. Everyone will have an option to redeem the cards. So everything what they have paid, they will be able to start to use it. One-click solution is coming also for all the Mavi members. Everything what you earn, you will literally just send straight to the wallet, and then all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, you need to give this card to your wife in order to test it if it works based on the link that you will set it up. for the end, Matthias, how FlipMe will jump straight into the summer, if I may say so. In Dubai is getting hot. It will getting hot also in Europe. What are the plans for the next 3, 4, 5 months about the FlipMe, about the expansion? Let's put some cherry on top in the end.
So there is one thing which is, as I said before, which differentiates us from all of the other applications or all of the other solutions, is the actual multiple, or let's say easy integration with the solution, with the financial solution provider. So our plan is in principle very simple. We have, on one side, we have the users. These users need our support in sense of, that we find, let's say, certain things which is not good connected or something like that. So this is one focus, and this focus is, of course, a big focus now, because we need to resolve this as soon as possible, so that in the future, when we are not at, let's say, 5,000 downloads, where we are at 50,000 or more, it does not become a too big of a problem to actually resolve. So this is one side of the work. The other side of the work is actually creating a protocol, creating a system where all of the financial solution providers will actually be able to integrate themselves into the system, so that now we have, for example, with the first two, we have tested the field and we have seen, we need this field, we need this database, we need this security, and we need, and so on and so on. So we have field tested our idea. I'm very pleased to say that our idea has proven in the field that it's possible, that it is technologically, that it is an idea which is feasible. Now we have tested, now we have seen that for example, the debit card providers need the same thing all over and over. So it's not, this provider needs something and this provider needs something else. They need the same thing. So the point is, if I said on one side we have the users, on the other side we have the field of providers, field of partners, which are actually slowly, and this is increasing, slowly knocking on our doors to actually add their service to our system, to actually add their community to our system, actually, and to actually say, okay, we have a solution, we have an integration, and so on and so on. So basically, to become the actual Amazon for finance. This was the main idea from the beginning. This is what we need, what we are doing, and this is basically focused for the next 3-4 months, and probably much, much longer, to make the system as easy as possible for, on one side, the users, and the other side, the partners, to actually have the best possible selection for the users to use for their needs and for the functions that they actually require.
What I can say in behalf of the entire Mavi Global, in behalf of everyone who positioned themselves at the beginning of the FlipMe, I would like to say, Matthias, thank you very much for all the updates, and I can't wait to organize one more call where we will show everything after all these integrations and implementations, where FlipMe is going in the second half of 2025. Matthias, once again, thank you very much for joining this call.
Thank you very much, Doman, and of course, all the thanks goes also to the community, because without the community, we would just be another application on the App Store. With the community, we are a working situation, and we are moving toward the goal that we envisioned. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you very much, and good night in Europe.
Thank you. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here for the first time, if you didn't order your FlipMe card yet, once again, if you are positioned, if you live inside of the European Union, there is the website that can literally offer you everything what Mr. Matthias explained on today's call. The website name is earnsafecard.com. Once again, you can read all the informations. You can read all the functionalities, and even more important, you can order your own FlipMe card integrated with multiple options, like we just found out on today's call. If you are a Mavi member, once again, ladies and gentlemen, log into your Mavi Global back office, where you will find different kind of options. So far, Alchemy Pay and the first provider with the debit card is already integrated. By the end of this month, two others are coming, and much more we will find out at the beginning of the month that is called the June. What I can say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining this call. All the information you can also find on all the social media channels. For the end, what I can say, thank you very much. I wish you a great day. I wish you a great week, and see you on the next call. Good night from Dubai.